Hello, everybody, and welcome into the SFA Season 14 Bowl season. We are finally here, and we are starting off with Watch Party. It is the Hot Takes Barstool Arizona Bowl between Coach D-Sleep and North Texas, and Coach Fink and the Kansas Jayhawks. Very even matchup here today. So let's get into the rosters here. If you do want to watch parties along with us, you can check out patreon.com/the SFA. A ton of great rewards over there. But yeah, let's get into it. As we'll start out with North Texas, who had a very bad start to the year. They kind of figured it out towards the end. Unfortunately, they were unable to come back in the Conference USA race, but their redshirt senior quarterback, Tony Martin, will be taking snaps for the last time today. Taquan Twiggs, the SFA player, we're hoping for a big day from him. At wide receiver, you got Austin Smith, Ryan Parrish, who he got in the transfer portal a couple years ago, Adam Andrews, and at tight end, it's Shannon American, the SFA player, playing his final game. And on the offensive line, they are pretty decent. They do have Don Dapton, the SFA player, another reject here in Dirt McFarland, who's redshirted, and then Buyer Sellers, who's also a reject. On the defensive end, you got Ryan Johnson, the SFA player, Desi Masood, the freshman, and then Javon Ohio here in the middle. He may be entering the transfer portal. Rumors are there's a broken promise. I haven't looked at any of the promises yet, so we'll see. And then at linebacker, Jermaine Hodges in the middle, and Shea Dickerson, SFA player as well. And out wide, Marshall Hill, Rich Page, Anthony Hines, and then it kind of falls off a cliff. Both these teams have very poor secondaries. He has Matt Kidd, and then Jason Brock, who I believe is back for this game. At kicker, it is Danny Jackson, and never mind, it's his punter, Cohen here, who is 16 for 22 on the year. Good power and good accuracy, so we'll see if he makes an impact here today. And then we'll go take a look at Kansas. Coach Fink, who's had 2 game days this year. One was very poor, one was very good. So kind of a mixed bag, kind of a low floor, high ceiling for both these teams. As Bryson Chant will be the quarterback, very good speed. And at running back, the freshman All-American Shea Don Iverson, the 5-star. We'll see what he does today. And at wide receiver, you got Jack Walters, Anthony White, Chris Darby, and then SFA player down here, Terry Butler. At tight end, the freshman Lars Newt. Donnie Stone is back in the starting lineup. And Lonnie Falconer is an SFA player. And then there it is. Pretty much very even teams across the board between these guys. You got Junior Goodman, Matt Myers, Tez White, his final game of his career, so we'll see if he can make a splash play or two. And then at middle linebacker, John Gore, and SFA player Billy Gilmore. Out wide, they are very thin at corner. I believe that they potentially have Gerard Perry back, but regardless, they are pretty weak here. Now, last time we watched Kansas, John Sims had 3 interceptions, so we'll see if he can replicate that today. And at safety, Derek Harrison, and you got Aaron Rush on the other side, and their kicker is Mike Atkinson. He as well is not kicking. It's the punter, Mike Adams, and he is 10 of 13 on the year, 80 and 80. So pretty good kickers here. So if D-Sleep or Fink, if you're here, let me know about jersey choice if you want. I don't do for these bowl games or watch parties, so I don't do really any of the what is that, fight songs or whatever. But if you guys want jerseys, let me know. And let's see, are either of them here?
No, they're not.
No. Okay. Yeah, D-Sleep does have Jason Brock. All right. The transfer from USC. All right, so without further ado, very even matchup here. And North Texas was actually in the Patreon bowl game last year that we watched. It was against Georgia Tech. So this might mean good news for Kansas for next year, where if you play D Sleep and you beat them, you're gonna go to the playoffs in the next season.
Schedule D Sleep.
Cryo, are you commentating?
Yeah. What's up? How I'm finally back after my hiatus of
Morning
going into hiding.
blues.
Yeah. Well, it's just a hiatus of week 13. The H word is still sensitive around me, so.
Oh god.
But I'm actually really excited for this matchup. It's a tale of two teams in the sense of North Texas. You said had a very bad, start to the year, and then they sort of rallied off. And Kansas has just always been, hit or miss. Like they're a team that you know that bowl games are obviously going to be in expectation for them, but getting over the hump is something that they're trying to do with Bryson Shant and Shadon Iverson. So it's going to be very interesting.
So the Mean Green are going to kick us off here today as we get a return, and we are in Arizona. This is the Hot Takes Barstool Arizona Bowl down in Tucson, a field that we know and love in our time in the SFA. So let's see what North Texas can do. They are in the whites. Tony Martin dropping back first play, and he goes over the middle, and that's going to be a first down to J.J. Robinson.
Kansas's offense was very effective the last time we saw them.
Yes, both of these teams had stinkers, and then their second appearance, they really put it together. So we'll see what happens. I forget who Kansas lost to, but I know North Texas stumbled against Texas Tech. As we get
not great.
Yeah, not a great game that was. Now
Colorado.
John Sims is in the slot. He's the player to watch on this defense, number 49. But they're gonna run quick option to Twigs, and he's brought down.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where you sort of expect North Texas, especially. It's such a thin secondary that even with the type of performance John Sims can have, you have to test the secondary. Like it should be in the game plan for D Sleep.
And they have to do it here is they bring the blitz and they have to throw it short. So a fourth down. So not a great start here for the Mean Green faithful who drove out from Denton. And this is ironic because North Texas fans were showing support for Arizona last year when they got snubbed from the playoffs. So it's interesting that they're playing back in Tucson 2 years in a row in the same game. But here comes Kansas. We've got Bryson Shant at quarterback, Shadon Iverson in the backfield. That's Lars Newt lining up there as well. And Shant takes off here at the start of the game. He is an X factor. You've got to be able to shut him down. And he gets 6.
Yeah, and with bowl season ramping up, the one cool thing about the playoffs this year is that there is not a single CPU team in sight. You mentioned it on the playoff push, but it's so nice just to see like sort of a new era sort of come into the SFA where it's mostly users, getting the shine.
Yes, I enjoy new users unless they beat me. So we'll have to see who my new enemy is this year.
Oh, it will be Mango 100%.
Yeah.
Sir Axis is gonna catch the heat, I think.
I beat him in Chapel Hill by 3, right? So I'm hoping at my house it'll be a similar result, but we'll never know. Is Shant now plenty of time? He yams it deep, open man, double coverage though. He was definitely not open, and that's a fourth down. He looked open, but he threw the moon bowl, as Russell Wilson would say.
It's kind of the decision making you're more all right with in a bowl game than in a typical setting.
Yeah, 100%. In these games, last game of the year, you're playing for an off-season strategy, right? Remember, the winners do get an additional bonus in recruiting. So a lot on the line. You got to take your chances. There's not a tomorrow. As we get a nice stiffy there from Taquan Twigs. Both these teams, though, kind of feeling each other out, not putting too much together, not getting a lot of room. Both 7-5 Kansas was in their division race a little bit. North Texas more so stumbled out of the gate, so they're kind of eliminated early. Here's another floater, and that's intercepted! Tony Martin was not safe with that throw, just lofting it out there, and Aaron Rush brings it in. So an early mistake.
You've seen a lot of it going back and forth, you know. That's a pass that Mr. Unlimited would make. But I think you've seen a lot of throws into double coverage. You've seen it's definitely the offenses are definitely sputtering out of the gate. You know, maybe a little bit more on the rush side just to get it going, especially with this triple option. But we'll see how it goes for Kansas.
As Bryson Shant gets 14 here on his second or third carry of the game, I guess. The Jayhawk loves it, and remember with the change in the Bulls, in the Bulls seeding and the Bull matchups, this is a much tougher game than sometimes a Kansas would play. A couple years ago, they faced an Air Force team. They blew them out by 6 scores, so they're not used to heavy competition in bowl games. So we'll see how that changes kind of the outcome. Did any of you guys bet on any of the over/under conference wins?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Suppose I can't now.
Well, you can as long as it's not a Big 12 or a Conference USA bet.
Yeah, I'm planning on it.
Yeah.
I had 3,000 coins in the dream, so I couldn't do that.
Understandable. As there they go, they finally wrap up Bryson Shant. It's Andy Watson.
Andy Wompson.
Yeah, forgive me. I've been up since 5:30. Didn't get much sleep, so we're cooking.
Let's go.
We got 23 bowl games as well. As Shadon Iverson finally gets his first carry, he explodes. He breaks one inside the 10. Shadon for 24. The freshman All-American.
Yeah, and then you see these shit from these freshman running backs that really prove that I really do think Shadon Iverson is going to have a really good career at Kansas. He's definitely someone that I think puts a lot of trust into, and I really like this Bryson Shant, this QB running back duo he's running with him.
We get a jet sweep here. He pushes forward, and he's going to be stopped. And I don't think I've ever seen that many failed stiff arms on one play. He put that arm at least 3 times. All right, 2nd and goal. Back in the pistol. Got the fullback and Shadon in the backfield. Jet out right. Throws that short. And he's stuffed. Just 2 days ago in the AAC Championship, we saw a ton of goal line stands. We'll see if we can get another one here. They're crowding
that play called by Coach MZ to drop Evan Givens into coverage. That's probably some of the best flustering of Flynn Saunders I've ever seen.
As Robert Hagan brings him down, Shant just got stage fright there. He couldn't find the pitch man. So 4th and goal, decision time for Fink, and he might be pussyfooting around this right here as he's going to take the points. I guess they're outside the 5. Makes sense. So they add 3 to start the day here. So 3-0 lead for Kansas.
Yeah, I don't hate the call there. It's just it feels like the offense got some sparks. They're getting the momentum from the interception. So it's good to know that they just want to get points on the board to sort of keep that momentum going.
So we'll see.
It was a free possession, free lead.
Yep, it was a free possession off the interception. You convert 3 points, not too shabby. Now we'll see how North Texas responds here, as they've yet to move the ball. Tony Martin, they are going to give it to Twiggs. They would really like to get him going, and he can't. That's now, I think, 3 carries for 0 yards. Or 1 yard, sorry. Now they're going to come out in I form with a tight end, and they're going to hand it off to Twiggs, and he can't break the tackle. He might have still been running.
It's just arms, too. Come on, take one.
Now, he is a very tall back, very thin back, doesn't weigh a lot, so he's not necessarily the break tackle type. As we're on 3rd and 8 now, Martin has to do it himself, and he's running, and he hits his man. J.J. Robinson, what a play from Martin. That was an improviser play if I've ever seen one. See if they can now ride that momentum, hand it off to Twigs, and he's brought down. There's Tez White. He led the nation in sacks a couple of years ago. Hardly has any this season, but he gets a TFL there. Now completely stacking the middle of the field here. Man in motion. Little misdirection there from Twigs. Once again, brought down too easily. The defensive end just throwing an arm out there, tripping him up.
Yeah, very impressed with this front, this front seven for Kansas has been able to hold Taekwon Twigs, sort of preventing him from getting going.
And a beautiful block there from Twigs,
Nice.
allowing the route to develop. Austin Smith for 10. His first touch of the day. So here
One of the
come the
best.
Mean Green.
Best things a back can do to boost their pro stock is show off that pass protection skill.
Oh, not going to happen here. They break
Oh.
one tackle. Tez White got to him first, but John Gore wraps him up. Or no, that was Billy Gilmore there first. So both the linebackers getting in there. So now backed up, drive not looking too great here. See if they can move the ball, going full goal line. 3 tight ends on the field, handoff to Twigs, and nowhere. They're just completely stacking them up, selling out for the run. So the free safety makes the play. So a 3rd and forever. It looked like they were threatening field goal range. Now they come out empty. First quarter bleeding away here in the Arizona Bowl. We're yamming it deep, though. He has some, and it's picked again. Just not enough arm strength
Same
there
man.
for Martin.
I'm pretty
And,
sure
boy.
I think that's the masked savior himself again.
Yeah, that's Aaron Rush, his 2nd pick of the day. Are we going to see him threaten Sims' record that he set like 2 weeks ago?
I'd like to talk to this Kansas DB coach.
Whoever it is, man, they're getting a raise as we got Shade on in space, and he gets 6. So Kansas looking very good in the run game early on. That's what they love to do. Love to give about 4 or 5 different people carries, as Shant this time is brought down in the backfield. Nothing doing there. Andy Watson again.
Yeah, and what you're seeing with this, especially for the running backs, I think Iverson is just more explosive than Twigs. I think that's what you're seeing here. Like the blocking is not the issue for the most part, unless they fully sell out for the run. Both teams have been relatively decent with, making sure that they have enough time. It's just really the running back and how he performs.
And that might have been
Average depth of target today has been crazy.
Yeah, everybody taking shots. As I was going to say, that might be the hardest thrown Bryson Chant ball I've ever seen, as it was tipped away. But I liked the throw. But yeah,
I mean, of course you like the throw. You're a fan of Tavarius Trace, so it makes complete sense.
We're in Arizona, home of Josh Gamara. It only makes sense they throw a couple yams and a couple interceptions here and there to get us started.
They are definitely in the spirit of the Barstool Bowl.
Yes, sir. As D-Sleep is in the crowd, so we'll see what happens here. I don't see Fink yet. But North Texas, after 2 interceptions, they are here at midfield. You got to be happy with the defensive performance so far for the Mean Green, but now you'd like the offense to lock in. There's got a very long cutscene here. It's the end of the first quarter, 3-0 for the Kansas Jayhawks. But North Texas, man, they are driving.
Yeah, and it just goes back to Taekwon Twigs. You really just want him to get going because that can really open up sort of both the passing and just overall rushing efficiency of the offense.
So we'll see if D-Sleep can draw up anything better, as Martin's going to keep it this time. He has room down that right side. He gets 11. If Twigs can't run it, might as well give it to Martin. Is there now the deepest they've been into the Kansas Jayhawk belly is we're inside 35. Gonna audible into shotgun. Shannon American in the slot. Only 3-man rush over the middle and hung on. Wait, he dropped it at the end. Wait, it's a fumble. So they call that a catch, a fumble, and a fumble recovery for Austin Smith. We'll see what the ref says here. It doesn't really matter.
It did look like he was on the ground.
Does the hand count? Or I guess his knee was probably down.
His
knee's
down.
Yeah.
For the hand.
I mean, that was a bad angle.
We'll just call that a catch and a tackle. No problem. Right?
Yeah. Reversed.
All right.
Good wherewithal there from him, though, recovering his own fumble. Inside the 30 now. Trips left. Twigs. Can he find some room on the outside? He gets around 1. And that's going to be 5. The first time Twigs was able to get to the edge. And they're going to hurry it up. Like the aggressiveness here. See something this defense they might like. Plenty of time. Martin hanging on to the rock. He throws it late and it's dropped!
Crashing.
Not the best start here for North Texas. Kind of a microcosm of their season. They just stumbled in the weirdest parts of the year. 2nd and 10. There, that one's caught. Shannon American for 6 as we get a 3rd down. So inside the 20 now. 5 yards gets him a fresh set. 3 men on that right side. He fakes it. Martin. And he throws it deep. Almost picked again. That was Sims who dropped it.
Sims remembers.
So they're bringing out the field goal unit. Going to be a 32-yarder from dead center. Can they tie up this game? And yes, they do. So a 3-all game here in the Arizona Bowl.
That was a kick and a half. Jesus. Just, there wasn't even height on it. It's just full on power.
He saw the Wyoming game as like, I have to get enough power on this.
That's never going to be me.
Listen, man, I'm just saying Cody Smith is the greatest punter in the SFA today. No one else has a perfect passer rating, so.
The passer rating doesn't matter.
Oh, it does.
unless you're like a Western Kentucky punter, then it might matter.
Well, come on. Too early.
So Robert Thomas getting a carry here, and Kansas trying to figure it out. They've been unable. They moved the ball a bit, but unable to really string together these runs. So 2nd and 6, split backs, more triple option from Shant. He flips that out to Thomas, and it's going to be a first. Beautiful execution.
You feel like Kansas's path to victory is on the ground.
100%. As only 3 throws from Shant, and they've all been deep throws. Shant again. He's going to take off here, and look at the spy. Big hit as well. That's how you beat him. Don't let Shant beat you with his legs.
Yeah, and I mean, it goes back to like what I was talking about earlier, just like overall this season and just in Kansas in general. It's a very tough program. You know, I talked with Mango on the playoff preview, and he mentioned that like he understands that Kansas is a very tough place to, you know, coach. It's a very tough place of expectations, but also just the inconsistencies is something that, you know, you wish that you can get over the hump with someone like Fink.
So Shant adds 7. I love the interview with the arch rival of Kansas. They've got a
I mean, one's in the playoffs and one's 7 and 5. So
true. As they are going to get another first down, they're going to try to strip them, and they can't. Good hands there from Shant. So across the 50 here. They're going to audible. They love putting Lars Newt there behind the line of scrimmage for an extra blocker. Jack Walters makes his first touch. Only for 4 on the slant. But been very impressed with North Texas limiting the big play. That's where Kansas does thrive. And make them work for it. So 2nd and 6 now. Handoff here to Shadon. Can he get to the edge? He does. And he breaks through 3 men. Gets 12.
Those 4 yards are, of course, Bryson Chant's longest completed pass of the day.
Hey, let's go. Improvement as we're inside 35 now. They're going to press. And that goes nowhere. Shea Dickerson cleans him up. His 2nd TFL of the day. The longest SFA player on this team. I think that was D-Sleep's first recruit. This is his final game, I believe. So we're in 2nd and 15 now. And Shant goes down in the backfield. Another play from Watson. Or no, it's Jermaine Hodges. What am I cooking today?
It's
Sleep deprivation.
Just drink the monster. We can take it from here.
I had to change back to Ghost because my 7-Eleven changed the sale back to the Ghosts instead of the Monsters. So I got the Sour Patch Kids going. This time is we're gonna get a flag for offensive pass interference there. When you let those screens go too long, they're going to get you with that. And they decline the penalty. Interesting.
All right.
Not sure why they did that because now they're in field goal range. Well, the kick is up here, and he knew he would miss it.
Oh, that's tough.
Profit.
D-Sleep Big Balls workout.
4D chess, baby.
Right there,
4D
baby.
chess.
Coach of the fucking year.
Funniest coach of the year.
All right, so now let's see if they can ride that momentum. And Taekwon Twiggs with his best run of the day. He gets 10 as he got a 3-3 slobber knocker here in Tucson.
Yeah, and I think the reason why D-Sleep would decline the penalty and just rather have the 4th down. North Texas had actually looked really good against the run. It's just this fact of Kansas has been really good at getting the big play. And I think if they can prevent that, their rush defense has been very, very good against this Kansas team.
And now we got Wildcat. We've seen Twiggs take this 90+ before. Can he do it again? He's going to take it. He has some room. He got a blocker. He's pushing. Oh, look at Twiggs. He gets 12. Finally pushing through some of these defenders.
Yeah, it took a 1.25, but it looks like Twiggs woke up.
Yeah, he finally arrived here in Tucson as it's 1st and 10, cross the 50, delay give to Twiggs. He makes a run, and he gets 5.
Some good runs here. Keep it steady.
Remember, Kansas does receive the second half kickoff, so North Texas would definitely like to be in the lead when they go to halftime as broken tackle. Another broken tackle. A 3rd broken tackle for Twiggs as he powers through for the 1st down.
There's a smile on your face.
That's the Twiggs D-Sleep wanted to show up today as we are now back under center. They're going to audible. Shannon American to the slot.
Need to see more out of him. They've been playing great zone coverage today. Shannon American just needs to get out there and big body these guys into submission.
As the fullback, James Graham makes a nice little play there. 2nd and 4 here inside the 30. Threatening field goal range. Both these teams have decent kickers in terms of power at least. Not necessarily accuracy. Another 1st down from Twiggs. He's been dominating this drive. Just keep feeding him. And they will. There he goes again. This time he's stuffed.
Yeah, but especially if you are D-Sleep, you love seeing Taekwon Twiggs finally, getting the 10-yard run, the 12-yard run. Just sort of like getting into a rhythm because that's especially one of the focal points of this North Texas offense.
Especially when his first 8 carries went for a whopping 8 yards. So another 1st round. He is cooking on this drive. Can they finish him off and get the first touchdown of the day? Be a counter. Twiggs, and he can't break through. 2nd and 11 now. They can still get a first down without a touchdown. American in motion. Deep drop here from Martin. And he's going to take off here. He has some room up the middle. He's powering and he's finished inside the 5. So we're inside 2 minutes. Kansas using those timeouts. They want the ball back. 3rd and 3. Can we get another goal line stand for the Jayhawks? Martin. Over the middle and touchdown,
There you
Shannon
go.
American. Zach hit it right on the head, beating that zone. And the Mean Green take the lead.
And I mean, yeah, Zach called it. Like, he wanted Shannon American to get more involved. It's if you're going to be open like that, like, I mean, wide open on the curl route, you know, why not just keep feeding him in that case? So very, very, it's a good methodical drive by North Texas. And I think that's exactly what D-Sleep wants. You know, time possession is something that really he focuses on. So it's going to be interesting to see if Kansas can get, you know, any point stuff before, you know, getting the ball at half.
And it's a feel-good moment there as well, largely considered a big bust since he transferred over to the Mean Green. Shannon American in his final game as an SFA player gets a touchdown. So we'll see, can the Jayhawks respond before half? Remember, they do get the second half kickoff. As they're going to start out pretty nicely here, Jack Walters, and they're going to mark him short. Clock is running. Doesn't seem like they're too worried about it. They're not hurrying it up. 2nd and inches from Shan. Over the middle, double coverage is knocked away. Almost intercepted. Shan, 4 of 7 in this half. 1 for 5 on 3rd down. So they're in the pistol, 2 running backs. And it's going to be triple option. Shand, he can't get it.
Oh.
What a stop there from D-Sleep, and they're going to have to punt. So North Texas a chance to add more points.
And I'm really confused because it looks like Kansas was just trying to run out the clock. They were just trying to get to halftime. And it looks like it might backfire on them.
Not sure why they take that route after using all their timeouts in that goal line stand. I feel like they were trying to get the ball back.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think Kansas just got a little bit on that 2nd and inches. They felt like they could really run anything to get the first down, but it just never happened. And oh my, not a good way to start here is Junior Goodman all over Tony Martin. So 2nd and 14, floats that one, and it's a conversion. Nice throw to Justin Washington.
And I mean, North Texas, they've been cooking, you know. They've been sort of the better offensive team, you know, in a defensive slugfest like this. You know, just 1 or 2 big plays really makes the difference.
Yep, they can eliminate the turnovers. They should be smooth sailing. So 1st and 10. It's going to be Twiggs. He finds some room. And that's 7. Kansas has to find an answer for him now.
Love how dedicated they are to running the ball, even in with the clock running.
As they got those 2 timeouts in their back pocket, but they get sacked. And they're not going to use them here. Corey Whitworth gets the sack. They're just going to hurry it up here. 3rd and 8. Clock is ticking away. Another questionable decision here. Only rush 4. He's flown it deep. And it's caught! Oh, broken tackle! Shannon American for 37.
That's what we want to see, Shannon.
On senior day, too. That is outstanding.
As you're going to hand this off, runs over a man, and now they got to use their timeout. Shannon American, man, his final game of his career really showing out. As you get 3 on that right side. Martin to the end zone. Touchdown, North Texas. They double Kansas up here in the final 2 minutes, and they take a 2-score lead.
And it just goes back to what Kansas was trying to do. They played scared. You know, they tried to, you know, they wanted the ball back, but then had second thoughts and said, you know what, let's just bring this to halftime. And it backfired.
So all of a sudden now Kansas finds themselves down 2 scores, even though they are +2 in the turnover department. What in the world?
Did Fink opt out?
I don't know about that. Fink is right there on the sidelines. But he's bragging about his 8th bowl appearance. Once you get to the bowl, he doesn't care. He just wants the bowl appearance. As they just hand it to Shadon. Gonna just let this one run out. Try to figure out what went wrong. See if they can make a comeback. As we hit halftime here in the Hot Takes Barstool Arizona Bowl. North Texas leads Kansas 17-3. So for those betting on these conferences, this could be a massive win out of the gate for the Conference USA better.
Yeah, and you mentioned the bowls. Is there like a specific bowl game that we're about to watch today that like you're looking forward to watching?
All 23. They're all
All
masterfully
right. Well,
put together. There's amazing storylines to them all, and that's the great part about it. Last year, you got a couple good matchups, and then the rest were meh. This year, you have no clue what's going to happen in each and every one of those games. So that's the fun part about it.
Here's the Hot Take Bowl. We need hot takes.
Hot take: CJ Irons 7 touchdowns, beats Florida State by 21. That's the hot take today.
That is not what Jackie Moon wants to hear.
That's
I'm
not a
sorry,
hot take,
Jackie Moon.
TC.
I told you earlier.
That's not a hot take, TC. That's delusion. That's a
No,
separate
I
thing
am the
altogether.
biggest CJ Irons fan in the world. If you saw that North Carolina game with him last season, oof, that's one of my favorite games
Oh,
of all time.
that was a barn burner. That almost went to overtime. I think it was like a
Yeah.
total of like 130 points or something like that.
Yeah, it ended on a Hail Mary dive at the 1.
My hot take
yeah.
is Texas A&M won't score more than 20 points.
Well,
Okay.
I think we know that like it's written in the stars. TC gave me the script earlier. Charles Coley's going for 200 yards first round of the playoffs. So, congratulations to Coley for being the next great 73 overall.
Yep.
Well, anything can happen once. What I'm interested to see is if the home
Happen
teams, if it
twice.
really means that much to get the home field, if they all 4 win again.
Yeah. If they go
Here comes
4-0.
Shant. He does escape, and he gets it first.
My hot take is that the ACC playoff teams are overrated for everyone except for ECU.
Hey!
Like I think Buffalo's fine, but I don't think they're gonna make too much noise, and I don't think Georgia Tech's gonna make noise, and I don't think Florida State would have made noise if they made the playoffs. Gonna be honest.
I do think Buffalo has a really good shot at winning this year.
No! But Buffalo doesn't
have a
win their
really
games
easy path.
convincingly. They have one good win over North Carolina that was convincing. Everything else, you had to beg them to win that game. He's gotten so lucky all year long.
The roster's like fine. It's good, but it's not Oklahoma good, ECU good.
Oh my God! If ECU meets Buffalo in the final again, I might not watch it. Like,
It
my God!
always is going to be a ridiculous matchup nobody predicts. That's kind of what always happens. So 3rd and 16. We'll see if Kansas can get back into this. They get Shadon Iverson in space. He has to run over a man, and he can't. 4th down. Womp womp here for the Kansas Jayhawks faithful that made the trip from Lawrence.
I mean, with Fink's track record, I mean, he should just go to Bowling Green because that's all he really cares about.
Yeah, that's the only thing you can brag about. So 17-3, North Texas has the lead. You can't get complacent if you're this offense. You can't let them back into the game. It's only 2 scores. We've seen plenty of times teams come back from 2 scores. I mean, Cryo, firsthand experience,
All right, buddy. We do not need to bring that up. All right.
As we float, that's picked again!
Oh, goodness.
And there he is, John Sims. Gets his first of the day. He dropped it in the first half. He wasn't going to drop this one.
I'm telling you.
They're going to rename it from a ball hawk to a jayhawk. after this
No, I
defense.
do like that one.
Not as good as the
I
Bowling Green
like that
joke.
one.
That was like 5 out of 10 for me.
Let me cook. As now here
Oh,
comes Shea. He's
my.
cooking up the gut. Broken tackle inside the 10.
Woo!
So maybe that's
Now-
what Kansas needed.
Just imagine that guy's 5 inches taller and like 40 pounds heavier, and that's gonna be Kirko's squash neck.
Oh, God. Boo.
And then that guy's gonna turn into Mr. Unlimited.
Yes, there we go. As we get a screen pass to Shadon, can he make this happen? The freshman All-American? No. Unable to do much there. He is a 3-down back, but he doesn't excel in the pass game as it's 2nd and goal now from the 9. They really got to punch this in. You can't settle for a field goal here. Man in motion. Triple option. Broken tackle, though. He tripped. He had it for a second, but Andy Watson brings him down.
Yeah, that shoestring tackle really prevented him from. It looks like he took him down by putting his legs between his legs and just like tripping him, just like flopping him to the ground.
The good old scissor tackle as it's a 3rd and goal. Delay give to Shadon up the gut. Can he get through? No! It looked good there for a second, but he stopped short. So decision time here, and now they get aggressive. Here comes Kansas, 4th and goal. Can they get back within a touchdown? Triple option, handoff, touchdown, Kansas. Robert Thompson gets them back within 7. We got a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, in that case, like, you had to go for the touchdown there, whether or not you got it. It's just, you can't survive on just kicking field goals. Like, it's, at some point, you need to have some sort of spark on the offense that's not, hey, we got points. It's, getting that touchdown really should open up the game.
So now Tony Martin, his last game of his career, he has 3 picks right now, but they have the lead as Twiggs now is back here returning it. He gets 33. Had 3 interceptions today, a couple of jump balls. And then we've seen that exact same Sims interception like 4 times at this point. Jump in those corner routes.
And then it takes them 5 years to get off the ground, or get out from the air, because like they jump in, like, have the vertical of LeBron James. So
yeah. So under center now. Let's see if they pound Twiggs up the gut again, and he gets about 5. They were at their best when they focused on the run. It's Twiggs up to 19 carries. Remember, off-season strategies are on the line for everybody. Handoff here to Twiggs, and he can't get the first, so a 3rd and 3. Chance for Kansas to continue to build off this momentum. They are 4-7 on the day from 3rd down. Trips right. Shannon American, he's been an X factor. He's going to block, and Martin, he can't get there. 4th down. Big play there from Matt Myers. And here come the Jayhawks. What do they say? Don't count your chickens before they hatch. As this 2-score lead is just slipping through their fingers. See if they get a good punt. This will be returnable. Cuts out left. Breaks a tackle. Keon Robinson gets 13.
yeah, and I mean, we saw it with the UNLV Hawaii game. I mean, it makes sense, you can't let your foot off the gas once you have a lead if it's something like a competitive team, no matter what stage it is.
Absolutely, especially in bowl games. Everybody wants to go out on a high note. These definitely could be the difference between having to spin a wheel or not as well for your coaching job. So, a lot on the line. Shant continues to play pretty well. See if they can tie it up here. Iverson gets the carry, and he continues to create extra yardage. He gets 5 there. But just a lack of runs. He only has 6, as the majority of the carries have been through the option. You'd like to see him get a couple of more true carries like that. So 3rd and 5 for Shant. Floats that one. Can he turn upfield? Yes, he does. Lars Newt, the SFA tight end. The boy from Canada gets a first. Shant doing well. He's 70% on the day. Complete audible here from the defense. Only brings 4. That was a wobbler, but he hits Jack Walters in stride. It wasn't pretty, but it got the job done. Look at this throw. Disgusting.
Oh, looks like, man. Woo.
Yeah, that was a Tim Tebow throw.
He's wearing blue.
So now we got a fresh set of downs. Down 7 inside the 40. The Jayhawk fans are going crazy now. The ones that haven't left yet. As we're yamming this one deep, a diving grab. Chris Darby for 23. He lays it on the line. What a grab.
These receivers are suddenly stepping up to help out their quarterback who started this drive with less than 50 passing yards.
So in
Almost
the
to
red
100
zone.
now.
In the red zone now, looks like 2 tight ends, 2 running backs going to go back to the option here. Or no, it's a true handoff to Shadon. Can he cook? Can he find the outside? No. He hits 6.
I like the fullback giving no help blocking wise. That was he was giving emotional support to Shadon as he was running that ball.
So
Yeah, we
2nd and
can't
4
hear it
now.
from the booth, but he was yelling affirmations.
As that's thrown away, I thought that was going to be a dangerous play there, but Shant just throws it out of bounds. So 3rd and 4 inside the 10. Once again, probably 4 down territory, especially in a bowl game situation. 3rd and 4, Shant, and he throws that into the turf. What happened? And they're bringing out the field goal unit. Just what a way to kill a drive. This will be a
Don't love this call,
25-yarder.
Fink.
And that is good. He must have caught his arm on the helmet or something on that throw, because that went straight into the turf. Or maybe he was trying to pump fake it and it slipped out of his hand and you get the tuck rule. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I think he just got training from Bo Wallace. I don't think there's really, much we need to say about that. So,
If he'd gotten training from Bo Wallace, that would have wound up in the defender's hand as Taquan Twiggs gets across the 50. That is why you put your star players at kick return, folks. They can break one at any second.
All right, you have something to say.
So, up 4. Yes, I would like you to put Flynn Saunders in at punt returner, please. That's almost picked by Sims. He drops a 4th one.
It's the playoffs. We'll think about it.
There we go.
We made it. We're here.
I legit was trying to tackle that motherfucker and he wouldn't go down.
He's generational talent. He's excellent at everything he does.
The 2nd and
even
10.
the interceptions.
And Twiggs finds the hole down the sideline. And he's
What a
tripped
tackle.
up. Twiggs, he's on something else. Might have taken some smelling salts at halftime. Look at the move.
Yeah, good move, but also very good play by number 29 there. Because if he didn't get that tackle, he would have been gone.
Very much last line of defense.
And a great start here. A great punch back from North Texas. They're not just going to roll over and let Kansas come back. 1st and 10, handoff to Twiggs. He's trying to find the hole. He can't.
Of course, the delayed handoff is usually a favorite on, 3rd and long plays, but, 1st down, they wanted to try it out.
Radical strategy.
They'll never see it coming, am I right? So 2nd and 9. We got about 10 minutes left here in the first bowl game of the season. We're yamming it deep, and it just ran out of real estate there. Double coverage, probably for the best, as they are in field goal range. So, Tony Martin, don't throw a pick. Don't throw a pick. Whatever you do, do not throw a pick. 3rd and 9. It's going to be a screen pass. Twiggs it! He can't get the ball off. 4th down. So here comes the field goal unit. It's a 42-yarder.
At least he didn't throw a pick.
There you go. to go back up 7. The kick is up, and it is no good. They've both missed now. Kansas gets their revenge. Oof.
And by the
Barely.
slimmest of margins, too. You hate to see it.
And in our first bowl game of the season, it couldn't be more of a dead heat at this point. As you're yamming that one deep, and oh, he had it. You got to jump for that. I thought the receiver could have gotten that one. Maybe I'm a bit overzealous there, but full house look now. Hand off to Iverson. He goes to the outside. He gets 6. So 3rd and 4, big opportunity here. Kansas 20% on 3rd down today, just not good enough. Only 2 down linemen though. They could still run the ball. It's a blitz. They called a screen pass. Iverson, please. And he's brought down by a corner.
Hate to see it.
Oh, man. You do hate to see. He's been creating extra yardage all day, but just couldn't win his one-on-one in space. And that's a 3 and out.
Yeah, and I mean, I brought it up before, and you brought it up as well. Just the inconsistencies. Kansas has really relied on the big play to really spark their offense, and you really can't do that, especially in these close type of games. It's one of those things where you really just need to get like a constant drive. Like you can't have 15 punts in a game if you want any chance of even trying to get the lead.
And we're kind of left wondering again about that decision making near the end of the half when they let UNT get the ball back without too much of a fight after that disastrous second.
Yeah.
And then going for the field goal here on their not most recent but second to last possession instead of trying for the touchdown. Now they haven't really got anything to show for stopping UNT.
Yeah, and they were showing that they trust the defense. However, gotta get back down there with your offense too. As last play of the 3rd quarter, they do get it off. It's gonna be a screen to Taquan Twiggs. He cuts inside and he gets smoked. So as we head to the 4th quarter, Kansas has trimmed the lead to just 4 here in the 3rd. Oh boy.
And I mean,
17-13.
we brought it up how this is the hot takes bowl. I mean, from what I'm seeing, you're the biggest advocate for, freshman quarterbacks. They're not really going to do that much. I don't know if Bryson Shin is the guy. Sophomore year, I feel like Fink still trusts him. He still thinks that he can be like a really good quarterback. But, when does that luck run out? When does Shant, run out of excuses?
Well, he has Zeke Yeager next season coming in, SFA in-game recruit, so he'll be able to run like a Tennessee-level offense as we get a couple
The
of
double
tackles from Twiggs.
2
But,
QB system.
Yeah, the 2 QB system, where he could move Shant to like running back or something. So.
I think Shant has significant upside outside of an option. Even I think Fink would be wise to stick with him. He's just so dynamic with his legs. Give him time to develop his arm.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned it too. Like the option offense is really where Shant shines. He's had multiple like plays where he can sort of just take off and really take the game into his hands with his legs. He really can be that big play running type quarterback. It's just finding the right playbook for that.
Is North Texas continues to drive, and look at this, they are taking time off the clock. We're under 8 minutes now, and it's gonna be a run with Martin, and he gets the first. Kansas, you're in a bit of dire straits at this point. You've got to force a field goal. Cannot give up the touchdown. So North Texas.
You know what to do, Shannon.
Here. 1st and 10, delay give to Twiggs. He finds some room, and he gets 4 out of that.
Block, I guess.
Almost 30 touches now for Twiggs. 2nd and 6. Inside the 10 here. Split backs, that left side so wide open, and They're going to hand it off inside. Broken tackle. And Graham, they're going to give him the first. Thought he might have been short there, but 4 yards away as we are under 7 minutes now. Can Kansas generate something? Martin, he's going to throw it to the corner, and it's a catch! Ryan Parrish puts North Texas back up 11. I thought that was going to get jumped for a pick, but instead it's 6. And that was Sims. He had the chance.
Oof.
The ball hawk, Jayhawk, couldn't get it done. So now if you're a Kansas fan, you are in tough waters. You've now got to score 2 touchdowns or a field goal and go for 2. It's not looking great here for the Jayhawks. But like we always say, you just got to score a touchdown, get it back within a score before you use any of your timeouts. So plenty of time in that sense. But you can't have any more empty possessions. Shadon takes this one, and once again, unable to generate extra yards in his one-on-one. Watson, 4th TFL. Only 69 yards on the day for the freshman All-American.
Only 9 carries, too. You know, compare that to how much they've been feeding it to Twigs.
Exactly. 2nd and 11 now, and Bryson Shant takes the carry, and that's one of the issues you often see with the option offenses is the defense kind of gets to choose who gets all the carries. So it seems like today they've chosen Bryson Shant, and it's been working. So 3rd and 7 now. Kansas dumps this short, and he has to create something, and he can't. So you got to go for this. You got to think. And no, the punt team. Oh, my God. I hate it. Run a fake. Run a fake. It's a bowl game for crying out loud. No.
Come on.
Fumble.
Your first 3 pass attempts are all like 40-plus yards.
So North Texas is going to come back onto the field, try to run out the clock. They're up 2 scores. Can they get a big-time bowl win under Coach D-Sleep? 1st and 10 is going to be a handoff for Twigs, and he is stuffed. No timeouts being called yet by Kansas.
And I mean, it's interesting. You mentioned that they're up by like 2 full scores. You know, the 8-point score and the field goal. So, you know, a very interesting call to not really go for it, especially when you're down by a lot and you know that your offense is struggling.
As we're now going to run some clock for North Texas. So they could run this out on this possession. Kansas has to get a stop here. Jayhawks only bring 4. And they finally get to him, a broken sack. He gets it off, and that goes to no man's land, and it does stop the clock. Tony Martin tried to play hero ball.
That had such play of the year potential. It really did.
Yeah, it was a great start. As we now get a 3rd and 8. Here's the chance. They got to get a stop. Twigs up the gut, and they do. They stop him. Now, if North Texas wants to get zesty, they could go for it. And they do.
There you go. Let's go.
I'm loving this game. Is true sicko.
Game.
This is a true sickos game, and I'm here for it.
Arizona Bowl on Watch Party Patreon. Chance to ice it for the Mean Green. They're going to run
completely opposite philosophies here in how conservative Kansas has played it.
Oh, they almost got him to jump. So can they convert? They're going to throw it. Martin, and he hits him, the fullback. Unbelievable play call to ice the game here for North Texas.
Yeah, that's
play is titled "Hang Your Nuts Out" in our playbook. Just so you know.
Okay, all right.
D-Sleep just dragging his nuts across Fink's chin on this one, as he is going to coast to a victory, it seems. Couple of more first downs will make it official. Unless we see some Tony Martin interceptions. Twigs
Yeah, I
is going
can't
to take a
remember.
handoff near side and 4.
Yeah, you gotta think that's the nail in the coffin. You know, going for it on
100%.
fourth down, it just two, like Zach said, two different philosophies. It's also just
Up
two
with the two
different
score.
cultures. You know.
As Twigs, he breaks 2. He's still going inside the 20. They're feeling it now, Mr. Krabs, as we are going to get a bowl win here on Patreon for North Texas. They lost to Georgia Tech last season, I believe. As there goes Twigs, and he wanted more. Sending these seniors out with a bowl game victory. Hands it off to Twigs, and he is stuffed again. So Kansas out of timeouts now officially. Goal line formation. Hand off to Twigs, and he's brought down. See if we can get like a forced fumble or something.
Oh, I'm begging for it to be fourth down. They do a fake field goal. Oh, that would just complete this game.
Yeah, D-Sleep
Third and goal.
would get a point towards the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
They'll snap this under 2 minutes. Please throw it. Give me a pick.
So, I mean, I would love to see him 4 interceptions win by multiple scores. That would just be
As
fun.
he takes it up the gut as they go up. What is that going to be? 20, I don't know. I can't do math. 18?
Yeah, 18. If the field goal hits, then I mean we've seen
Cryo's favorite number, 18.
this guy, it's just gonna be a running joke for years on end.
At least till the end of this year. That's kind of how we do it, is you get roasted unless it's a playoff choke.
Oh, like next year with my schedule, I'm assuming that I'm primed for a 0-12 season, so it's gonna be fun.
Yes, sir. we'll have to see. Maybe your offense or your left tackle can get you some wins, as that was
Telling you,
stripped
man.
away.
If you go 0-12 in that conference, you deserve to be canned. Like before you even make it to the 12th game.
Yeah. We'll find a way to relegate you beyond the NWC.
And
I'll be
there's another
Like
one.
you're gonna be a coordinator, not even a head coach, if you go 0-12.
Yeah, no,
in that
I'll be
conference.
relegated to the SFA NIT.
Oof. So not much going for Kansas here, as they now are just going to run a screen pass, a shade on, as his freshman season comes to an end. 4th and 12. Do they punt?
I'd be insulted if they went for it.
Is now North Texas dominating this fourth quarter. They are going for it.
Why? Now you want it?
4th
Pathetic.
and 12.
What are we watching?
Shant over the middle. He's going to convert. No, he just stopped. Wait till they give him the first down.
It was a
What
pity
a
first
spot.
down.
What a spot.
Bryson
Don't
goes over
review it.
100 yards, 1 minute in the fourth.
And he hits him again. That's Robert Thomas. They're across the 50. They finally wake up. We are in Tucson. We've seen crazier. 18 points would be wild at this point. Just dumps that one off to shade on.
I don't know if we've been crazier than this.
Yeah, I know. $15 for 23 on the day. Bit of garbage time in those numbers, but dumps this one off. Oh, that was risky. Newt gets -1. Remember, folks, bowl games, BearCave, whatever we want to call it, is going to start right after this. So you get another 4th down. See if they punt this one. No, they'll wind up going for it. So pure domination here for the Mean Green. So they will get an off-season strategy. Throwing that cross-body to no one. And let's get out of here, folks. Come on. What are we doing? Hodges, he had the chance to take that the distance, but he did the right thing and just knocked that bitch down. So, victory formation for the North Texas Mean Green in a really tough year. Cap it off with a victory. A big-time win. I believe that they lost this game last year to Georgia Tech. So, nice coming back, getting the victory.
Yeah.
And as we hit triple zeros here in the Hot Takes Barstool Arizona Bowl.
Vindication!
The Mean Green get it done against the Jayhawks. Big time win. They shut the door in the fourth quarter and they win 31-13. I like that Shannon American got a good game today. Couple of big plays. Because that was a very disappointing transfer.
Yeah, overall, you said DC was out of it from the beginning for his conference, but sort of a happy ending to, a very, very weird season. They did come back, that second half. So very props to D-Sleep. And for Vink,
For Fink, he adds another bowl game appearance to the username. That's all that matters. As he continues on the most realistic coaching arc in SFA history. Just a middle-of-the-road bowl game merchant. Oh boy, what a game. We'll check stats, and then we'll start the bowl stream here in a second. 23 BearCave-style games coming at you. I hope you're ready. It's going to be a...
We're going to find out.
We're going to be here until midnight.
And then we'll finish off with the Citrus Bowl.
Aren't you glad we don't have to go to committee?
Yeah, and then we'll have playoff games tomorrow. Everything. We are in the golden time of the season. All right, so let's check out the stats. Scoring summary here. It was very slow to start. Then these two scores at the end of the half. Kansas attempted to come back, and then they just shut the door. And that's right. For bowl games, I have to get the scoring summary here. So I have to get my screenshot because sometimes the scoring summary glitches. So I want to make sure I get it here. NT1. Got to make sure I do that for all of them. So Bryson Shan, his sophomore year comes to an end. 16 of 24, 126, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Rushing the ball, he did do pretty well. 70 yards. Iverson, though, only 9 carries. Thomas did have a touchdown. Receiving the ball, it was a lot of screen passes today. Jack Walters got a couple catches here and there. Nothing crazy, though, on the offensive side. And on defense, Derek Harrison, couple of TFLs for some of these guys. Sack here for Gore and Whitworth. They did get a couple interceptions. John Sims and Aaron Rush both will be back next season. And then a couple of deflections from John Smith. If he could have brought those in, it might have been a different game, winning the turnover battle +5 instead of +3. And then on the other side, Tony Martin ends his career. 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. 14 of 24, just a truly mid-line. Twiggs had a great day after he started out very slow. Didn't get into the end zone, but you know this game was a win because of him. Shannon American had the game of his life today. Only 1 sack allowed. Jermaine Hodges here leads 4 TFLs for Watson. They were cooking in the option game most of the time. Shea Dickerson as well. His final... Or no, that's not his final game. He should be back unless he decides to declare early, which would be a surprise, as we got Javon Ohio. Might be going to transfer portal, we'll have to see. No interceptions. Couple of deflections. And no fumbles. All right.
Tony Martin's stat line being as mid can be pretty much encapsulates his entire career, unfortunately.
And do you have a plan at quarterback? Do you have an SFA reject or a?
It sure my plan sure was the guy that is now going to be starting for Ole Miss. I have a redshirt sophomore that is out reject level, so that's why I didn't want to use a reject right away on a quarterback yet. But I'm trying to figure out it's either that, the portal, or hope to God that there's good progs on the on that redshirt sophomore I have.
Absolutely. So that will wrap up Watch Party, guys. Thanks for watching.